McKee Foods was founded in the 1920s by Ruth and O.D. McKee. In the 1960s, they decided to come out with a new product line that featured the likeness of their granddaughter Debbie, and Little Debbie snacks were born. The story goes that O.D. made a snap decision to use Debbie's likeness and didn't tell her parents. Her parents were none too happy to see their daughter's smiling face adorning countless boxes of sweet treats, but their tears were likely dried up by the countless Debbie millions made by the snacks. Today, there are dozens of Little Debbie snacks, each trying to find the right balance of taste and value. Located in Tennessee, Little Debbie sets up shop in the heartland of America, and as we wrap up our Independence Day celebrations, we put one hand to our heart and the other snack cake filled hand to our mouth and ask, You tried it! You Tried Dat, the Little Debbie Showdown. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hey there.
Boys, did you have a good 4th of July?
Yes, there were fireworks and I assume hot dogs.
Dude, it was great. I just got a new grill, which in 4th of July, that will have been true. I will have just gotten a new grill. I have not gotten it yet.
What do you mean will have been true? Yeah, this is after we're recording this after the 4th, Chad. I don't know what you're talking about. Guys, I lost 50 pounds and bought a new sports car.
Oh, wow. I heard you blew your hand off with a firework. Is that true?
That is true. That is true. I was holding an M80 in my hand until at the last minute, and instead I got distracted by a giant bowl of candy at a party and started eating it. My hand blew off into smithereens. So, got to return that sports car because it's kind of hard to drive one-handed.
That's pretty that flippant for you to just talk about using the term smithereens to talk about blow up.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm trying really hard to get over it since it literally just happened in the very recent past. Since, again, this is being recorded post fireworks injury because this is like July 5th or 6th, right, guys?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to blow your hand off now for real. If you wouldn't mind blowing your hand off to help out the continuity of the
podcast. As we get closer, hey guys, can we still edit the app? Is there time to change what I already said?
Blow off your fucking hand, Geiger. You said you would.
Can I do my left?
Blow it off or you're fired.
It was my left hand, to be clear, so I can still write. Because you know how desperately important that is to me, my writing.
I want to see a pic of that smithereens for the Instagram. Send me that smithereens.
Oh. Yeah. All right, hey, come on, check out. You tried that this week, or check out this fiery meat stump from one of our friends. It's a severed wrist, just smoldering.
Somehow our Instagram just turns into like a snuff film feed or something. It's just all gore and blood.
I like how also Novak asked, how was our 4th of July weekend? And the first guy like, yeah, buying a grill, the fireworks are nice. I didn't lead with, now I have one hand. Oh, I should have mentioned this, guys. That blew my hand off. FYI.
You got your priorities in order. Fireworks. Fireworks always come first. Burgers second. Then how many hands you have is third.
Right, that's true.
Right.
Those are the 3 things everyone thinks about on 4th of July.
I'm glad there's not 10 things because I wouldn't be able to count them on my fingers anymore.
Dismemberment. You tried it.
You're screwed. You're screwed when it comes to famous 6 things Thanksgiving. So.
How's your shadow puppet game now?
Oh, it's great. I can make a bunny and a duck, and that's about it.
So, Chad, you recently started off your maternity leave.
Yes.
Because you're now a father. So, how's that going?
Well, since today is after July 4th, I've actually been on paternity leave for a month now. But,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Think back to that first day. How'd it go?
The baby bit your hand off. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The baby bit off his hand.
Right. I know. My one hand, the baby bit my hand, and now it is the smithereens of baby poop.
Wow. Baby's got an impressive digestive tract already.
Yeah. So, yeah, today was my first day of paternity leave. And so San Francisco, normally a very mild climate. It's averages around 60s year round. But today, as Carlos Santana might say, well, it's a hot one. It was really hot today.
What the hell happened to Carlos Santana? That was recorded seconds after Santana blew his hand off.
So yeah, it was like 95 degrees today, and nobody has air conditioning, including us. So I took the baby. I wanted to get her out of the house. So I took her to like the one place that has air conditioning that I know of, which is the library. And they have like a story time kind of thing, like a little playroom for kids and stuff. So I went in there. There's a couple other kids like running around. My kid was like by far the youngest one. She's only 4.5 months right now. So there was a woman who was just like kind of sitting there staring at me for a little while. And I was just kind of like, oh, maybe she's staring at me because I'm the only man, like I'm the only male who's over like 5 years old that's in this room right now, because it's like a bunch of nannies and moms and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But eventually she says to me, she's like, she's like, do you have a bunch of older kids? I said, no.
What?
Just this one. And she's like, oh, you just look really familiar. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, like I fucked you and had a kid with you. No, what I actually said was, maybe you've seen me walking my dog around the neighborhood. She's like, oh yeah, that's what it is. I recognize you from that. And she packs up to leave. And then she said something that just really confused me. She said, you're doing a really good job. And I was like, what? And she's like, and I don't just mean for a dad. I mean like in general. And I was like, thanks. And then she just left. I was like, see you later. But first of all, like, what does that even mean? And second of all, like, how did she surmise that I was doing a good job from walking into a room, dumping my baby on a mat, and then just like sitting in a chair?
The threshold for success for a dad is so much lower.
Oh yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys as dads. Yeah.
You can be a hero dad from doing just the very most basic of things.
It used to make me. Go ahead. It used to make me irritated. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3 at the same time. 1, 2, 3. It used to make me irritated. I was trying to give you the silent signal, but I only had one hand and I was scratching my balls with it. So
you kept counting one.
No, but it would tick me off at daycare and stuff when I'd go in and they knew like Betsy was out of town on work or something, and they'd go like, "Oh, is it Daddy Day today or Daddy Weekend today?" I'm like, I'm their father every day. Like, stop. Or like they would go like, "Oh, don't worry, we changed her so you don't have to do it." I'm like, I know how to change my daughter's diaper. Like, I've lived in the house the entire time my wife has. Like, this is not. I'm not disabled. I can take care of my own kid. But also, thank you for doing that.
You motherfucker! Thanks.
Thank you. Why didn't you feed her dinner?
I guess I was just thinking, like, it just gave me this impression, like, am I a good dad because I'm not absentee or something? Like, is that the level that dads have stooped to in this country or something?
Yeah, I agree with Geiger. It's always a little upsetting, like when I was out with my kids, which I'm out with a lot. I spend maybe even more time with them than my wife, but that I'm out with my kids and I'm treated like I'm doing some great deed. But then another part of me is like, heap that praise on me. Inflate my ego. So next time you see her when you're walking the dog, you're just going to be like, remember me, that great dad? There I am.
I'm going to be like, remember me? You see how I only have my dog? That's because I left the baby at home by herself. And I left a bunch of knives right by her.
Still think I'm great?
I hope I come back and she only has one hand so she can be like her Uncle Geiger.
Yeah. I'm going to need that other hand, so make sure it's okay with her, okay? I'm going to hand donor.
Well, we're going to need 2 hands to handle all these Debbie snacks we've got today.
Shit.
We are going to be eating 8 different Little Debbie snacks over 2 Little Debbie episodes. One right that you're listening to now, and then the other one down the road sometime. But today, we're going to eat a few of the more popular ones, and we're going to rate them on a 5-point scale: a love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. So we're going to start with what was apparently the first ever Little Debbie snack that the company came up with, and that's the oatmeal cream pie.
Now, do we want to say where we got these snacks from?
These snacks come to us from a frequent snack contributor, Des. Well, I should say it was an anonymous letter that my sister made non-anonymous by telling me they came from Des, but it wasn't a real big secret. Des, thank you again for supplying us with yet more snacks. When I have diabetes, I will blame you, but for now, I'm enjoying it. So thank you.
I think she's our executive producer now.
She should probably just get producing credit on the show.
When you get diabetes, instead you will refer to them as diabetes.
Right. When I get diabetes, then I can lose my foot to go with my lost hand.
Now, I think the only Little Debbie snack I've ever had is the Nutty Buddy. I think Little Debbie in general, I've sort of avoided in the same way that I would avoid Hostess stuff. I don't know if this is true. Maybe not. But I always viewed them as sort of the same thing, of just like this plastic, just collection of chemicals loosely molded into like a food form.
That's very accurate.
Yeah.
So the oatmeal cream pie, 2 oatmeal cookies, and I don't know what the hell the cream's supposed to be in the middle. An indiscriminate white cream.
Cheers.
I believe it's smithereens.
It's smashed up smithereens.
It's the smithereens of Debbie herself.
Debbie is still alive. I did look that up.
No, in fact, did they name it Little Debbie because she was young or because she was physically small?
I think they said she was something like 4 at the time.
Okay.
But then they made the drawing to look a bit older. But it was their 4-year-old granddaughter. So she was probably both young and small.
Okay, so
I don't think she was like a dwarf.
But she did grow up to be 7'6", and her name is Kevin Durant.
Right. Big old Debbie is what the new stacks are called.
Looks just like the package.
Big Dunkin' Debbie.
So there's really not much to this cookie. Like, the cookie is very thin. The layer of cream is very thin. It honestly, to me, resembles like somebody took like a regular, ice cream sandwich kind of cookie and then put it in like a hydraulic press.
It is far more smashed and gross looking than it is on the front of the package, which isn't that rare for
most. Where do you guys stand on
have.
Oatmeal raisin cookies in general? I don't think there's any raisins in this, but just oatmeal cookies, I guess.
I think I don't mind the oatmeal part of it. There's oatmeal chocolate chip cookies that you can get that I actually like. So I think with oatmeal raisin, it's the raisins that kill it for me. I don't mind oatmeal cookies, and I don't think the oatmeal cookie is the problem with this snack. I think it's the cream, or just all of it. Maybe we'll get into it. Geiger, what are you? You're gonna be our first rater. So what do you think?
Nope, I asked you. No. I'm not a big fan of oatmeal cookies in general. I don't like oatmeal raisin cookies. I don't really love oatmeal cookies. So already out of the box, this thing's at a disadvantage because it's 96% oatmeal cookie. There's a little bit of that cream in the middle, but I honestly don't know how it's supposed to help. Even if it had been really tasty cream, there's so little of it that it really doesn't impact the overall snack. And it actually doesn't taste good. The cream itself tastes like, I agree with Novak in that there's something just somewhat off-putting about it. And so I'm trying to lick just the cream to see if I can get like a little cream flavor. A nice visual for you guys.
It's barely cream. It's almost like granular. Like
yeah.
It's not all that creamy.
It's almost like if you melted a marshmallow.
I was going to say it's like a tiny layer of sheet cake frosting.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Anyway, it doesn't taste good. This whole thing is a dislike that for me. I have had these before. It's been a long time. I think I know why. It's because I didn't like it that much. So I'll say dislike that to start with.
All right, a dislike. Chad, what do you think?
I actually like a good oatmeal raisin cookie. I'm a big raisin fan. And also oatmeal chocolate chip can be good. But without either of those things, just a straight up oatmeal cookie is trash. This oatmeal cookie is worse than most. I find it to be very dry. I think the consistency is unappealing. I actually think the cream is the best part of this, and that is not saying much, because the cream is also very, very bad. Like I tried licking the cream just by itself, and it was just sugar. Like there's nothing there besides just like generic sweet flavor. So yeah, these I'm not going to go so far as to give these a hate dat. They're not outright repulsive. They are bad. I don't ever want to eat one again, so they're getting disliked at from me.
All right. This oatmeal cream pie is going to be an unwelcome visitor. You guys hit it on the head. There's no part of this is working. I'll be honest, I expected a bit more. And so now I'm a little worried for some of the rest of these. But
Oof.
this was not appealing in any way.
This could get ugly quick.
So
This could get uglier faster than Geiger did when he lost a hand.
right. You were holding an M80?
Uh-huh.
Why were you doing it?
I'm told it's a firework.
I said, why?
Because you light the one end, you hold as long as you can, and you throw it in the air and it explodes right in front of everyone instead of way up in the air like a fucking loser.
Oh, did it? Oh, so it was more of a timing thing. It's not like a small wick or something.
Right.
It was
I
the
just
issue.
mistimed it. And it didn't also give me what I thought like the alternative could be. It just melted all my hand parts into one like intimidating club that could beat people with, but it just blew everything, as aforementioned, into quote unquote smithereens.
Is it true that the way you were shooting off fireworks is what is known worldwide as, quote, Wisconsin style?
No, it isn't. And you're an asshole. Actually, 4th of July, I think I might have told this last year, but it was always funny, like lighting them off in our hometown because like a bunch would go off right in front of the holder, and you'd see the guy barrel rolling out of the way. So maybe it is Wisconsin. Maybe he was hurling him into the air, and it was like Brett Favre back there, just
Saukville style.
Yeah.
Then
Brett Favre would roam to all the various cities and hurl the fireworks as hard as he could into the air, and actually got him like 30 feet up there.
Actually, that's why on the sign for Saukville, when you entered, it said, "Welcome to Saukville. Come see our bloody stumps."
No, it just says "Welcome," and then it trails off because they couldn't finish the sign or get done painting before their hands were blown off. It was just a guy painting his teeth after that.
it said, "Welcome to Saukville, where one stump makes you a good dad."
Welcome to Saukville. Allow us to give you a hand, but there's no actual applause.
All right, let's go to the fudge round. It's the closest cousin to the cream pie. I kind of want to see how they compare. So the fudge round looks almost identical in shape and size to the oatmeal cream pie, except it has chocolate cookies on the outside with a chocolate cream on the inside, supposedly.
Give this thing a nice whiff.
Yeah.
It kind of smells like if you get sort of like a grandma's chocolate cookie or something like that, but dialed up even more artificial.
I think you were right just saying it kind of smells.
Man. So I wonder if they changed formulas on a lot of this stuff, or if when I was like 7 and these were in my lunch, they tasted so good then and they're so fucking terrible now.
Maybe you just didn't have a refined palate as a 7-year-old.
So is Little Debbie then like a poor man's Hostess? Or is Hostess a poor man's Little Debbie? Do we know yet?
I think of Little Debbie as more of the poor man's deal.
Yeah. Hostess is better.
I think it's dirt cheap too. Like I remember seeing like a package of like 12 Nutty Buddies at Safeway for like $1.99 or something.
Right. Like a box of Twinkies, for example, is much more expensive than any of these Little Debbie boxes, like a box of Nutty Bars or something.
Large Deborah, these are not very good.
Deborah.
All right. Chad, you're leading us off with the fudge round.
Well, I kind of like it. I almost didn't want, I'm like so embarrassed to say it. I think it tastes kind of good. I just looked down and realized I'd eaten 3/4 of it. I think I'm just a sucker for chocolate cookies. I just really like chocolate cookies. And I know this is like low quality and it's not that great. Like it doesn't have any depth of flavor or anything like that I might want from like a high quality, like a nice cookie. But it's got chocolate and it's not too bad. Am I willing to give it a like that? I'm going to have to turn in all my snacking creds if I do, but I I think I'm going to do it. I'll go ahead, just very low level, going to give this a like that.
All right. You ate 3/4 round there?
Yes, 3/4 round.
I ate maybe half round, and it is better than the oatmeal cream pie. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's less gross for some reason. I think the chocolate inside's a bit better than whatever the cream is in the cream pie.
Consistency's better too.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little less greasy or something like that. I think I'm gonna go indifferent to that because I do think it's better than the cream pie, and I suppose it could make a snack in a pinch, but it's still not very good. So an indifferent, I like it an indifferent. Geiger, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a little more with Novak than I am with Chad. It agreed on all counts that it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I ate 3/4 round, just to round out the reporting there. But I mean, me eating 3/4 round of anything is actually kind of an insult to the snack. I couldn't eat the whole fucking thing. It's bad. It's not horrible. It tastes okay. It's the chocolate flavor's fine. I think my problem with it is that it's just so generic tasting. It could be, you like Chad said, it tastes like a grandma's cookie. It probably tastes like a Spunkmeyer cookie. It tastes like a soft batch potentially, but it just tastes like any garden variety cookie. And I don't understand what all the cream's doing there because none of it helped. It just all you could taste the cream, you could taste a part out of the cream. It tastes entirely the same. So because it's just your run-of-the-mill old chocolate cookie, it's fine. It's soft enough. It's okay. It's indifferent to me. I don't love it. I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's just right down the middle.
All right. So Fudge Round is the clear leader at the halfway point with a like and 2 indifference. We're going to sneak a segment in here in the middle before we get to our final 2 Little Debbie snacks. And this is going to be the snack mascot hot or not segment. So
okay.
I was on the dark web.
Ooh.
Yes.
How much quirk did you spend?
If you go to the dark web, the hot or not site, they have a hot or not site for these snacking mascots, and they have scores. So I looked up these scores. I didn't make these numbers up at all. And so you guys are going to have to take a guess at what these characters' hot or not scores are. And whoever is the closest to the scores that I read and didn't make up is going to win. So,
well, okay. So what's is it 1 through 10?
We're gonna rate it. It's a 1 through 10, but you could get just like the old hot or not. If you remember, you can get like a 5.7, an 8.2. So you can give it some kind of.
As I recall, you could only get a 2.8. Is that right? I thought that was wasn't that the highest you can go?
That's because you didn't pose in front of a Lamborghini. Remember what I said?
Right. I heard that the 7s and 8s were for people with 2 hands.
Requires both hands to move the mouse up to the 10.
You were on hands. I think you were on hands or not, weren't you?
I was on hands.
Hands or not.
2 hands or not. You can get a 1, a 2, or a 0.
You averaged a 1.0.
Average.
It's just a bunch of people holding up their arms. Do they have a stump or not? Or 2 stumps?
It's just a census at that point. It's not even a rating system.
I don't know. What do we do if some guys got like 2 fingers? The rest are gone.
Yeah, that's 0.2 of a hand.
What if somebody was born with 3 hands, but all 3 of them got blown off by successive fireworks
Oh,
accidents?
man.
No, he's got 3 stumps.
Well, 1 is okay because you got a bonus hand. That's what it's there for, to do stupid stuff with it. Because you always have the 2 backups.
That's true. All right, here we go. So there's 12 characters, and may the best man win.
These are real mascots?
These are real mascots. So the first one is Horatio Magellan Crunch.
Who's that?
Am I supposed to know who this is?
That's apparently Captain Crunch's name. Is Horatio Magellan.
I only know him by his hard-earned rank in the cereal military.
Horatio Magellan Crunch.
Jesus H. What asshole had to sit in a marketing department meeting being like, okay, his real name's fucking on Horatio Ponce de Leon? No, too long.
He was the first mascot to circumnavigate the cereal bowl.
Chad, you're up first. What rating did he get?
I'm actually trying to remember what Captain Crunch looks like. He's like an old dude, right? With like a mustache.
Yeah. The big blue
I'm
hat.
going to say he got a 2.3.
Geiger?
Novak just make these up. Okay. Let's say did it give Novak a boner? I'll say 3.7.
You're so worried about me making him up, and you're giving it tons of thought. Horatio actually got a 7.1 because women love a man in uniform. This guy's wearing
Okay, cool.
So this is my thought. This is my thought process as we go. So you're gonna have to think in that regard.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, dude. What did Chester Cheetah get? All right, Geiger, you're starting this time.
Yeah, Chester Cheetah. Well, we know he loves to fuck.
That doesn't come through in a picture on Hot or Not. Maybe it does.
Well, depending on what picture, if you remember our research.
He's holding a word bubble in his picture.
He's got a big pair of sweet-looking Oakleys on. I think a hep cat like that's got to be like an 8.5.
All right, he says 8.5. Chad?
I think it's going to be a low rating because the only people that are going to rate him high are furries.
Yeah. Huh.
So let's go with 1.5.
Chester Cheetah got a 5.8 because he might appear cool to some, but not to others. He's just a middle of the road rating. I can't explain his 5.8, but he got a 5.8. So
I guess the way to explain it is that there's a lot of furries out there.
You know, Novak, I'd say if anyone could explain it, it'd have to be you.
All right, let's move on. What did Chef Boyardee get?
What does he look like? Shit.
Just old dude in a chef hat.
An old man in a chef hat.
Like a white mustache, right?
Well, women do like a guy who can cook. So let's go with 7.5.
Okay.
I think you're onto something. Novak has already stated a man in uniform is sexy. Plus, I think Novak likes the olds because Captain Phineas Q. Magellan, or whatever the fuck his name was, he had quite the wizened visage. Would you say 8.5, Chad?
I said 7.5.
I don't want to price right you, so I'll go 7. But I do think he's probably attractive.
No, Chef Boyardee's got a 3.7. He's an old fuck. He's not good looking.
Okay.
He's got a chef's hat, not a uniform. We're talking about women like a man in uniform, not talking like a man wearing an apron and a chef's hat who's old as fuck. Okay. You guys don't know anything about what's hot.
Many men get sexier as they get older, and many women.
All right, we're gonna stay in the old arena here. Ernie Keebler. What's Ernie Keebler got?
Well, we know he's got that big swinging dick that's like at least 5 feet long.
All right, you're on the right track.
No. I'm with you. We have established in this podcast that Ernie Keebler's packing heat. He's got a big old elf schlong. Plus, he's got those giant feet, which also leads you to indicate he's got a mammoth dick.
They go hand in hand.
There's nothing sexier about a guy who's kind of a dwarf, wears a geeky hat, and lives in a house with a million other dudes. But I would say, just through sheer schlong alone, I mean, women just like big dongs, right? So I'm going to put it up at a 9. Could go high.
You're talking a lot about Ernie Keebler's penis in that explanation. All right, Chad. He said 9.
Big feet and big schlongs go hand in hand, or in the case of Geiger, they go hand in. I'm gonna say he's got a perfect 10.0.
Oh, Ernie got an 8.5.
Wow.
He swings his dick around. He puts out all kinds of snacks because he's a cocky bastard, but that rubs a handful of people the wrong way. Plus, he does look like an old man, so he topped out at 8.5. But a pretty nice high rating. Okay, Miss Chiquita from the Chiquita Bananas.
Oh.
She's got a bunch of like a fruit bowl on her head.
Yeah.
Does she actually look like a woman, or is it just like a blue and white logo?
No, she looks like a woman.
Okay, I have to look her up.
All right, who's up? Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean she's got she's got a nice figure. She's wearing a form-fitting dress there, and I would love for a woman to come up to me and offer me a handful of bananas. I love bananas.
Yeah.
Bananas are the way to my heart. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say 7.5 for her.
All right, Geiger.
Yeah, no, I don't know. So I'm doing an image search, and I see the cartoon version and like a lady dressed up to Chiquita Banana. So I'm assuming I'm looking at the.
No, yeah, it's a lady. Yeah, not the banana.
Oh, so it's the lady.
Right.
Okay.
It is a woman.
Oh, okay, 3.2.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just give a rating.
Well, like Chad said, she's got a smoking hot bod.
Yeah.
She's got the hourglass figure. She's got a bowl of healthy fruit. All right. She's a little less attractive to me because a lot of that fruit makes me allergic, as we've covered. So I don't want to get hives just from hanging out with her.
All right.
So I would still, though, she's pretty hot. I would put her at an 8.
She is a 9.4 because, as we know, all women on Hot or Not all get extremely high ratings because it's just a bunch of horny guys who just blew their hands off.
Looking for something to do with their other hand. Talking about jacking it.
And now, in that same vein, there's one other woman on here. We know women always get high ratings, but this is Aunt Jemima. What do you think old Aunt Jemima's pulling? She's elderly.
Kind of a BBW.
Oh my God.
No? Like a big breakfast woman.
Yeah, that's what that stands for.
That's what it meant.
She's sweet as syrup.
Geiger, what do you think she got as a rating? Oh,
Sorry, I just knocked over half of the pictures on Betsy's desk.
it's hard to pick stuff up with this stuff. I understand.
Can you drive over here and help me? I'm gonna put Aunt Jemima at she's a 4. She's a little older. Like I said, she's a bit more heavyset. She's too sweet. She's a spinster. She has no children of her own, so she's probably bitter and angry.
Okay, Chad.
Well, as everybody knows about me, I like a good BBW, where the B stands for breakfast, and both B's stand for breakfast actually, and the W stands for waffles. But
breakfast waffles is the category.
I love breakfast waffles. Yeah, I mean she's a knockout. 10.0.
8.1 for Aunt Jemima.
What?
Women always get high ratings. That's just that's the way, and on the dark web even more so. All right, 4 to go here. All right, let's move to the Kool-Aid Man. So, Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chad, you're leading us off. Think about the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
Think about what rating he might get.
He has a very nice round body, but I do worry that if like he's on top of you, like railing into you missionary style, it's just going to be splashing like the Kool-Aid all over your body. And he also probably comes Kool-Aid. So those are both big negatives. So I'm going to say he's got a 2.0.
What?
Missionary style? I'm not sure what position that's the word style after.
Spoken like a man who has had much sex, missionary style.
So, also,
it's not a style. It's just a default.
Also, so every time you went on Hot Knot, you were just rating them and based on how they would be when they were railing you?
I was rating them on whether or not they were going to come Kool-Aid inside of me or not.
Right.
10 for no Kool-Aid, 1 for Kool-Aid.
But you gave him a 2.
Well, I mean, I don't know for sure he's going to come Kool-Aid. I only suspect.
A little bit of Kool-Aid's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if it's that grape Kool-Aid,
You said 2. Geiger, what do you think?
I mean, I think he would get a decent rating because he's kind of like a big fat party animal, right? He's the big Rotown guy. So yay, he's like slashing around and like Kool-Aid's falling off the top of his head. Or apparently, according to Chad, that's all of his pent up cum. But
He finally has sex for the first time in 10 years and like walks out the bedroom and he's just empty. Like he's just a clear glass.
He's just a clear glass pitcher.
Yeah.
The only guy who can never claim blue balls because you can literally see how much he's got pent up. So anyway, let's move on. I would give him a 6. He's overweight, but I think the ladies would dig his party nature.
So what'd you say? What number?
A 6.
You're close. It was a 5.1. I think he's. I think people will think he's fun. He looks like a fun guy, but he's also totally out of shape. I think that's more than clear. The Kool-Aid Man needs to hit the gym, or maybe just needed to release his cum.
Or maybe drink less Kool-Aid.
Wait, hold on, real quickly. You think he looks like a mushroom?
Mushroom?
You said he looked like a fun guy.
Oh
Jesus fucking Christ, you piece of shit.
All right, we'll see you next time when we'll be trying out.
Oh, I'm so happy with myself.
All right, a few more key guys here. Next, we've got Julius Pringle, the illustrious Julius Pringle. What, Geiger, you're up first for Julius.
I would just like to say how happy I am that his name is Julius, because it's the most ridiculous name. He's got a commanding stash. I think it really depends on if you are an old school type of lady or guy, and you like that old fashioned look, he's going to be right up your alley. He looks like an old fashioned sheriff or barber. That's not for me. I don't dig it as much. He also has very small eyes. I don't know how his face is very disproportionate, so I would give him maybe like a 3. I don't think he's all that hot.
All right, Chad, what do you think?
Here's the problem. He's wearing a bow tie, okay? And no, women do not like guys in bow ties, right? Like, because it's just like, who wears a bow tie, right? Like that fuckhead Tucker Carlson and like nobody else, right? So he's clearly like just him and Julius Pringles. So women are going to hate this guy. They don't like the bow tie. Also, his hairstyle is fucking whack, right? Like that middle part that's from like the 80s. And I mean, 1880s is what I meant to say. So, yeah, fuck that guy 1.0.
Jesus.
Julius Pringle, this may surprise you, got a 7.
What?
It does. It surprised me very much.
Julius Pringle is a hipster. He's not an old-timey guy. He's just a modern-day hipster with that mustache, the bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
He's not cool to us because we're older, but he is cool with the new modern crowd. So it's just some facts I'm laying there. All right, 2 more. Next up is Helping Hand. He is the hamburger helper.
Fuck you, Novak. Just rubbing it in my face. The guy's a living embodiment of what I can't have.
So he is a glove, a white glove.
Yep.
With, I think, a red base, and he has a big smiling face. So, Geiger, Helping Hand. What do you think?
So, I'm just going to come out and say what we're all clearly thinking.
Yeah.
This guy knows his way around the nether regions, okay, for both sexes. This guy, his whole head is able to finger you if you're a lady. And his whole hand can jerk you off if you're a dude.
Yeah, because that's what women want.
A sentient glove that fingers them? Look, I know. I agree. That's what they want. And guys want a hand with a face that can talk to you while it jerks you up. That wouldn't be off-putting in the slightest.
And a nice big red nose to tickle your ball sack.
Yeah. So what if he smells like ground beef and cheese? Who cares? He's running. I don't know. I think the novelty of him might put him at a 6, only because there's some freaks out there that would find it hot to date a walking glove. So that's why I'm going to say like a 6, just for the weirdos out there that are into that.
All right, Chad.
I don't know. It's one of the extremes for sure. So 8.
1.3. Do I have to explain why he's gonna get a low rating when he's just a hand?
No, you have to explain why he got a 0.3 and not just straight 1s.
It was 1.3. 1.3.
Yeah,
Oh,
who
yeah.
did not rate him a 1? Like, is there
See.
one woman out there that's like, I want that to finger blast me?
Yes, exactly. I think that is it. There's one woman.
All right.
All right. The last one is Tony the Tiger.
Ooh, he's great.
Tony the Tiger. He is. They're great.
Yeah.
He a bit of a stud.
I mean, this one's going to be very high. Like, he's got that, like, he's got the big chest, right? Like, he clearly works out. He's
Right.
jacked. He's got,
Yeah.
like, a very
What?
boisterous personality. Also, like, a lot of women really love cats, right? They, people like cats. Like, they're friendly, right? They want to cuddle up next to him. Like,
Mhm.
this guy is pulling tail, and I'm not talking about his own. So I think this guy's top charts 9.8 for this guy.
Okay.
All right, 9.8. Geiger, what do you think?
I think that this is way too much of a coincidence that Chad had that much ammo at the ready for Tony the Tiger.
I may or may not be a furry for Tony the Tiger.
I have a hard suspicion that there's some fanfic with Tony the Tiger in Chad's dresser drawer somewhere. Also, okay, I'm a little confused here, Chad. So let's review.
Yeah.
Chester Cheetah, you claim, can only be loved by furries because he's an animal,
Yep.
and yet Tony the Tiger, apparently women are just dying to get his tiger dick. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, after I learned that Chester Cheetah scored that high, like, clearly there's a contingent that is in it for these cats.
And by women, I mean clearly just Chad. Okay, I agree. If we're going off of if Chester Cheetah scored well, then Tony the Tiger scores even better. He's a more dominant animal in the animal kingdom. He's the ultimate predator. He's got a sporting neckerchief, which is pretty sweet, and he's got that baritone that just drives the ladies wild. You know when like men can do the purring thing, which I can't do, and I won't even attempt to do it here. He can do that with this great thing. So I'm going to give him a perfect 10. He's the ideal man.
The what? What is the purry thing?
You know when you say like, I can't do it. I'm trying to tell you.
What?
Are you talking about like that?
Yeah, exactly. I cannot roll my R at all.
Oh, go.
Yeah. Hey, ladies, what's up? And they just run. They just sprint out of the bar.
That sounds like you're gurgling Kool-Aid Man's cum.
Who says I'm not?
All right, Tony the Tiger. Not only does he have stripes, but he's covering everyone in stripes. Because this guy is a 9.8.
Yeah,
go.
nailed it.
He is a motherfucking PIMP. Look at the guy. He's Chad says it. He clearly works out. He's just a big dumb meat. He just talks about how everything is great. He's positive as hell. I mean, he's definitely king amongst the mascots.
Yeah.
So that wraps up the first ever Hot or Not mascot edition. There's hundreds of these mascots. So we can always return.
Don't worry, if you hated that segment, it'll be back.
Let's wait till we do. Some of the other ones I didn't include were Cool Spot from the 7-Up Spot, the old circle guy. I tried to put it in there. Poppin' Fresh, the Vlasic Stork. That's some of the things you have to look forward to in the future. But we still have 2 snacks to go.
But before we get to them, real quick, bonus segment. It's the return of Chad's question of the week.
Okay.
Here's my question for you guys this week. Will you join me in a commitment to fitness? Fitness snacks in my mouth. Let's get snacking.
Oh my
Jesus Christ. All right. Look.
That was fucking embarrassing.
I have never been more confused / disappointed.
All right. The Pecan Spinwheel.
Oh boy.
Yes.
The Spinwheel is it kind of looks like a cinnamon roll.
This is the saddest looking cinnamon roll of all time.
Yeah. Cinnamon roll that's sat out in the sun for about
This,
7 days.
this is not even a poor man's cinnamon roll. This is like this is not even like a homeless man's cinnamon roll. This is like a helping hands cinnamon roll. Like the kind of cinnamon roll you offer to somebody that gets a 1.3 on dark web hot or not.
This looked like Helping Hand took a cinnamon roll and squeezed it tight.
This looks like Helping Hand ate a cinnamon roll, then shat this out.
And these are the remaining smithereens.
I wish I had 2 hands. This thing is hard to open with 1 hand.
Oh,
It does not smell good at all.
Ugh.
And it has a taste to match. Oh my gosh.
Why is it so mealy?
Instead of having any sort of frosting, the top is just flat and smooth. It doesn't.
Ugh.
It's not like.
This supposedly is pecans? Is the cinnamon roll cream made out of pecans, or is there pecan in the dough?
There's pecans in the roll. Look at the top. There's tiny little like hard nuggets of something.
Yeah, there are little pieces of pecan. This thing's greasy as hell. I touched it and now... Are your hands greasy? I feel like I just had a date with Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
I did not take it out of the package. I like slid it out, so my hand was still on the plastic because it looked so greasy. Did not want to touch it.
Oh, all right. Horatio, Magellan, Hancock, you're starting.
I mean, look, we've eaten some bad things today. This is definitely the worst thing so far. I wonder I think it's worth a hate dat because it's the consistency was like so weird when I bit it. I'm like, I was not expecting it to be this way. Like, I mean, I described it as mealy, and maybe I could get over that if like the flavor was good, but the flavor is barely there. It's like sort of generically sweet, but the aftertaste is gross. Yeah, these are bad. I'm gonna go hate dat on these.
I couldn't even lift it for a second bite. The texture's terrible. It smells bad. It tastes bad. This is a second hate dat, and we've got a potential flaming bag of dog shit brewing. Geiger, what do you think?
Watch your shoes, because when you step on that porch, there might be a flaming bag of dog shit on it. I can't with this pecan spinwheel. This thing tastes like shit. It's just... Again, it tastes so... I think the overriding factor of these first 3 snacks with Little Debbie is just that they just taste generically sweet. There's no like discerning flavor that makes this different than the cookie, that makes this different than the oatmeal thing. They're all just generically artificially sweet. There's no real pecans in there. There's really no frosting on it either. And the whole thing about a cinnamon roll is the frostings and the nuts. So, not frostings plural, just one. So I would give this a hate dat. I don't really like it at all. I ate about half of it. I don't know why. I wanted to get to the nuts to see if like that helped, and it didn't. So it just wasn't very good. And it's got a very bad aftertaste. So
yeah,
not a fan. All right, flaming bag of dog shit, the pecan spinwheel. Congratulations, and we've saved this one for last because I knew it was the most desirable amongst them, and that is the Nutty Buddy. And I actually did look up because I remember them called Nutty Bars, which they were in many parts of the country. And at some point, they have switched it over and is now just a Nutty Buddy. But you may remember it called Nutty Bar as a kid. And what it is basically, it's like a big-sized Reese stick, just a bunch of wafers with peanut butter in the top. So how do you eat it is the first question. You guys have had them in the past, I know. Do you take off the top layer or do you eat them straight?
I'll do it both. I'll take a bite out of the middle. I'll take off the top layer sometimes. That's a trick I like to do with the Reese stick and the Kit Kat, and it works well with this here too.
We talked about this on Friday after softball. I will usually eat one bar just like a regular candy bar and the other in layers. But these were like the vaunted commodity in high school and middle school where they sold these kind of like a la carte. These were always the thing I would get if I had a little extra cash to buy a snack with.
Is this like the only thing that is keeping the Little Debbie company afloat with all this other crap that they're making?
We talked about some other ones we might like. The one after that, which we won't be trying, that I think about. I like the fudge brownies a bit, which we will try. But I also like the Swiss rolls, Swiss cake rolls, which is kind of like the cylinder one with the swirly cream. So I think there are some more than others. And I think a lot of people actually like that oatmeal cream pie. I think that probably sells.
Unbelievable.
All right. I will start. These things got me through my childhood. No, I really did eat a lot as a kid, and I loved them. I still really, really enjoy these. Peanut butter tastes good. I think it's a nice ratio. It makes me want to go back for more. I am not ashamed at all to say that I love these. I got to give them a love dat. There's some nostalgia in that rating, but I just think they're delicious, and so love dat to start. Geiger, what do you think?
I'll say that one thing about these that I forgot is I feel like even more than with like regular candy bars, you have to eat them instantly because the minute you put your fingers on them, the chocolate starts oozing a lot over your hands. Like the messiest snack to eat of all time, but they're very good. They're not quite as good as I remember them. And maybe I was just younger and I'm getting more wafer than I am like chocolate or peanut butter, which I don't know, maybe they changed the recipe a little bit, but they're still very good. Far and away the best thing we've eaten today. I like them very much. This is something I would choose to eat if we weren't doing it for the podcast. So I give them a like that. Not a love for me, but a like that. These are very good.
Wow.
I honestly thought there was a chance these were going to be the first ever.
Geiger.
Yeah, I get it. It's chocolate and peanut butter, which means you automatically put it in the love dat, but I'm a man of integrity.
That's not true.
You're correct, but I still have these as a like that.
Your hands skeletal muscles don't have much integrity anymore.
The skeletal muscles, huh?
Yep, those famous skeletal muscles. Look.
They're smithereens, I heard.
All right. I'll allow it in this case, and here's why. We have not had a bag of puppies, 3 loves at all on this podcast yet. We could. Look, we could. If we just tried Reese's Cup or something, right? Or like there have been stuff I think that we've done on like minis, like maybe Nutrageous or something like that probably would have got it. We could do it. And I honestly really did think we were going to get it with this Nutty Buddy. But I think it's okay because I would prefer the first bag of puppies to be something that was like sort of unexpected. Not something that we all knew going in that we were going to love.
Now that's integrity. That's a speech with integrity.
Having said that, it's insane that you just gave these a like that. These things are delicious. Love dat.
I'm actually stunned that you guys are so vociferously... I mean, they're very good. Like I said, I like them, but there's a million things out there that I'd rather have than these. You can honestly tell me this is like one of your go-to snacks that you want all the time?
I mean, how do you think I knew that like a 12-pack is $1.99 at Safeway?
Because you store snacks in bulk in your house like a hoarder.
I ate a ton of these growing up.
Sure.
There's just something I love about them. I don't know if the first one I had would have been like at 38 years old. That would have been the first one I ever ate. Then I would have given it a love dat. But I have a history with them, and they still are really delicious, I think.
By no means do I disagree with your rating. I like them lots. I think they're very good. I gave them a good score. It just, I don't know. For me to really love something, it's, I don't know, just different for me.
I can say the first time I had these was when I was maybe not 38, but probably like 36, 37. I had never had these until a few years ago. And look, I mean, it's not like, it is sort of like a low rent Reese's Stick, right? Like Reese's Stick, way better. But they're still so good, and I find them so addictive. Like I will just, just put these things back, and there's so many calories, so it's really bad for you.
Well, it is the clear winner today, the Nutty Buddy. No surprise to anybody. I doubt it will even be beat by our next episode, but who knows? Geiger, where can the listeners contact us and let us know what they think of the Little Debbie snacks?
If you'd like to get in touch with us, let us know which mascot does it for you, which one turns you on, which one you really want to hook up with. Just don't make it Cornelius Magellan or whatever his name is. It's just gross. Have some respect. But other than that, you can fuck any of them. We don't care. You can get in touch with us at youtrieddat@gmail.com, hashtag youtrieddat on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We have a Facebook group, You Tried Dat. We are on YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're there. And we really do listen and love any feedback we get. We've been getting a little bit more recently, so we appreciate any reviews you want to put up, as well as any suggestions for snacks, questions for the mailbag, or disagree or agreeing with our opinions.
And head on over to Twitter this week, where our poll of the week is How many gallons of Kool-Aid would you jizz? The answers are 5, 7, and 12.
Yes, there's a lot of jizz.
That's it? There's no qualifier to that?
Nope.
How many gallons would you jizz?
That's the question.
Also, if you see me in person, you can give me exactly one high five.
Okay, last question here. Who lays more pipe? Dig'em Frog from Honey Smacks or the Trix Rabbit?
Again, I was just waiting for Shaquille O'Neal to be mentioned.
For sure it's Dig'em Frog, right? He's like super cool, suave, etc. Whereas isn't the Trix just like, he's just trying to he's just focused on the cereal, right? Trying to get the cereal back.
Yeah, he's got a one-track mind.
Yeah, exactly. He's not even thinking about the ladies.
Hold on. That frog is smooth and cool.
Isn't he?
I mean, I don't remember any characteristics about him, I'll be frank. But smooth and cool. And he's like the James Bond of cereal
He's
characters.
just kind of like, hey, ladies, put the smack down. Is that expression?
Yeah, that's it. Well, he does have that super long tongue, which wink, wink might help him out. But
remember when they made that kid cereal mascot say, "Hey, ladies."
Put the smack down on this bowl of cereal.
Hey, ladies.
Apparently, also according to Chad, he's Hispanic, I'm guessing. Hey, ladies. Look at that cereal. Now, Mac, how about you? Which one do you think pulls more tail?
Frog. There's no doubt about it. I agree with Chad. I think he is smooth and cool. I don't know why I think he is, but I'm pretty sure he is.
Hey, ladies, you want to do it froggy style? That's what he says when he sells his cereal.
boy.
Want to do it missionary style, ladies?
Who enjoys it missionary style?
That was a really odd ad campaign when they had the Honey Smacks frog talking about fucking people missionary style. Really?
No, it was actually like a secret religious message. He was trying to get people to sign up for a mission.
Who wants to do it missionary style and just was wearing like a monk's frock?
You want to read this Bible missionary style?
He said, who wants to do it missionary style? And then the cartoon said, no, I'm talking about going to another country and teaching people the word of God.
Right. Which offended cereal lovers and the Catholic Church. Was really upset.
Offended cereal lovers?
They just want to buy cereal.
Why were they offended?
I will not stand for this. I'm switching to Frosted Flakes.
No shit, they're switching to Frosted Flakes. It's Tony the Tiger.
Now, here's a question. Who do you think will Count Chocula or Frankenberry? Because Frankenberry probably had a big old Franken dick.
He did?
But Count Chocula is literally suave and charming. He's a vampire.
You were just giving Chad shit for saying the Dig'em Frog. You just told Chad that the Dig'em Frog can't be smooth and cool. But you're insisting that Frankenberry has a big penis.
Nothing.
That's okay.
Look, being suave and cool has nothing with having a big old hog. I don't think the Keebler guy is a fucking George Clooney. I think he's just swinging a dick. But like the Chocula dude, by nature being a vampire, is probably pretty with it. He's probably got some moves.
He's a man of the night for sure.
I think Chocula is not getting it done. He's kind of an old creepy guy.
Yeah, he's like all thin and wiry.
Oh.
Right. And as I know, I can tell you from experience that does not get you any women.
Now, Booberry, we know that ghosts get it done. So it's got to be Booberry if you want to throw him in the mix.
Why do ghosts get it done?
Ghosts get it done?
Oh, yeah. They be fucking in the afterlife.
Remember Ghostbusters?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Oh, that's right. Where that ghost gave a woman a blowjob or
Slimer
something?
blows Dan Aykroyd?
Where Slimer took Dan Aykroyd missionary style.
That was Remember that porno called Ghostbusters?
He took Dan Aykroyd to Africa and talked about God.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the plot of Ghostbusters.
They also have Fruity Yummy Mummy and Fruit Brute.
Fruit Brute?
What's Fruit Brute? Like a wolf?
Yeah, it's a wolf. Oh, Frankenberry looks hideous. I didn't realize that. I take back everything I said about it. All right. Well, then I guess we should stop talking about which mascots have big penises. So,
Should we though? Should we stop?
Tune in for part 2 of the Little Debbie, where we continue our conversation about mascot cock and
part 2 of Little Debbie, which we also refer to as the least downloaded episode ever. All right, so we'll be back next time, and we'll be trying out 3 brand new stuff.
Deuces.
Yep.